Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another episode of Around A3. Today's episode is incredibly special. I'm very much honored to have the one and only Imam Kip from my West Virginia University Masjid. He has been kind enough to talk to us about some common problems that people have been dealing with throughout this quarantining and the pandemic. So I asked him here to join us so that maybe he could give us some insight about what we can do to maybe try to better ourselves and also to quash some fears that we have during this time. So Assalamu alaikum, Imam Kip. How are you?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. Let me just say to begin with, Brother Aarij, you're very good at presenting in front of the camera. So if the law school doesn't work out, maybe you have a backup plan that you can go into broadcast.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Just keep me in your du'as. So Imam Kip, I spoke to you about this earlier. I've had a lot of people reach out to us and say, isn't this what we're going through now like a form of punishment? Isn't this something that, Allah is maybe upset with us and this is why He's put us through this trial and tribulation, had us all stuck inside? So with me, the confusion I have is Allah actually upset? Is this actually a punishment? Or, how am I supposed to be reacting as a Muslim with this sort of thing going on?
Okay, so this is a question we have to think about kind of deeply. There's a lot going on there. And it's always very difficult to try to explain exactly why is Allah doing what He's doing, why is He writing to happen what is happening, right? Because that's now, lots of times we don't even know why we do what we do. So it's, very difficult to say why is it that Allah is doing what He's doing. So on one hand, it is good as a Muslim that when difficulties are happening, problems are taking place, to be introspective and look at yourself and say, is there something wrong that I'm doing that's causing this? Right? So that's good, but at the same time too, you never really know why something is happening, right? Because difficulties, sometimes they happen as a punishment, but also sometimes they just happen purely as a test, right? The Prophet ﷺ went through great difficulties. It wasn't because Allah was upset with him, but it was just part of the test that Allah was putting him through and an opportunity for him to come closer to Allah by remaining patient in those tests and turning to Allah. So I think the right approach is kind of to be a little bit balanced and not to assume so much about Allah, to say maybe this is a punishment from Allah, maybe it's because of certain things that we're doing, so let's try our best to look introspectively and see where are we doing wrong and how can we be better, but at the same time to know that, well, maybe it's just purely a test at the same time, so let's not only worry about fixing what we might be doing to cause this, but also worry about making sure that we're passing the test while we're in it, right? By asking ourselves, what is it that Allah wants from us in this situation that we're going through?
Okay, that seems to make a lot more sense. So, a lot of people become emotional, especially with, the Mecca and the Haram being closed right now. So people think it's a punishment. So something like that really, really clears that up. Thank you. I appreciate that. I also wanted to get into a little bit of, now because it's been so long, it's been almost a month or more now that we've been in this. What is like a good routine that a Muslim should try to follow? Like besides, trying to pray your prayers on time and stuff, what if we try to pick up like that one thing, like maybe read Quran or a Hadith or something like that gives us some ease during this troubling time?
So, one thing it's good definitely to try to use your time in the best way that you can and to take advantage of your schedule being thrown out of whack to kind of rearrange it in a way that's more beneficial to your spiritual life and your relationship with Allah. So, because it's not necessarily true, some people say we have a lot of time on our hands now, but for some people they don't have a lot of time on their hands. Maybe somebody had an office job where they used to go to work and have a lot of time on their hands, and then now they're at home with their kids and their family and they have much less time on their hands because there's lots of things going on in the home. But the thing that everybody has in common right now is that their schedules have changed. Their normally day-to-day habit has changed. And that can be something that's very spiritually beneficial if you use it the right way. Ramadan is like that, right? It changes your schedule and it makes it so that, the things you're doing, you have to be thinking about, okay, why am I doing it, instead of just going through a habit. So the first thing is to take this time and take advantage of everything changing around to try to benefit yourself and your relationship with Allah. Now, how do you do that? There's no one answer, that fits for everybody. You have to find the thing that works for you and your situation. So definitely, reading more Quran is something very beneficial that you can do. If people's situations differ, whether they are, stuck just in an apartment by themselves, or maybe just them and a spouse, or them and a spouse and a small child, versus somebody that's in a house with, parents and brothers and sisters and maybe grandparents. So if you're in one of those situations where you're in basically have like a small society going on in the house, right? The large number of people living together in a house, somewhere in multiple generations. I think it's good to take this opportunity to work on your Islam together as a family unit, right? Because lots of times we, maybe in our communities, we look at Islam as something communal that we do together. We come together for Jumu'ah, we come together for prayers throughout the week, but then when it comes to the family in the house, just everybody's off separate on their own. This person goes and prays when they have time. This person goes and prays when they have time. Maybe this person reads some Quran. Maybe, this is a good opportunity for people to try to, as a family, to come together and say, okay, let's try to build some of our family activities around Islam. And, the best way to start doing that is making sure that the family, prays together, the daily prayers as much as possible as a unit. And then also to try to do some kind of learning thing, together as a family, I think is good. For people that are in a situation where you're not with as big a group of people, and now you're kind of being cut off from being as much of a social person as you used to be, then it's good to take advantage of that kind of isolation for, reflection and dhikr, and sometimes you need that break of just being away from everything and just kind of being with yourself and Allah. So if you have the opportunity to kind of, take some time just to step away from everything that's going on in the world and try to just work on, reflecting about yourself, about the religion and about the world and what's going on and how you can improve and what you can do to help other people improve, then that's good too. I mean, the main thing is just to be doing something beneficial. And the beauty of it is that Allah has given so many different ways for you to do that. Right? If you look in the book Riyadh al-Salihin, the famous book of Imam al-Nawawi, a collection of hadith, he has a chapter in there called the many different ways there are to do good. Right? Because we have certain things that have been made obligatory for us, and then outside of that, whatever you want to do extra, you want to read lots of Quran, then that's good. You want to do lots of fasting, that's good. You want to give lots of charity, that's good. Allah has put so many different ways for people to do good deeds. So you have to just find something that works for you and works for your situation. The important thing is just to have that intention and that focus that I'm going to try to use my time wisely and improve my relationship with Allah. And that should be our mentality all the time too, not just when this situation is going on. Whatever situation Allah puts you in, you should be thinking about, okay, how can I become better while going through this situation?
Definitely, inshallah. Jazakallah khair for that. That actually leads me into my other question. Obviously a lot of us are here with our families, and it's kind of an adjustment because for a lot of us are away from home typically, or aren't at home this often, for this long period of time. So obviously that causes a bit of conflict at home. Sometimes you lose your patience and things like that. Any advice on being, having proper manners and etiquettes with your family, especially during an extended period of time like we are in now?
Yeah, so I think that's one of the good things about, what we're going through now and, all these stay-at-home orders is to kind of be forced in that situation of having, to live with the people around you and learn how to deal with each other. I know, I mean, me personally, that's something I struggle with a lot. You really want to see when the, worst of my character comes out of me. It's when I'm in the home dealing with my immediate family, right? When I'm out with people that I see a few times a week and they do something that bothers me, it's very easy for me just to, just to let it go. But then when I'm at home and one of my kids is like asking for something and they're, daddy, 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 it's very easy for me to just establish, what do you want? But I would never do that with somebody outside, right? So this is a good opportunity to work on that ability to, maintain your composure and maintain your adab and your good character at those times when it's really difficult to do it, when, it's those people that you're really comfortable with. Because lots of times we have good behavior outside because we know that the people are going to look down on us if we slip up a little bit.
Definitely.
But when you're with your family, they already know what's up, right?
Yeah.
They know who you are. There's no trying to hide it and make yourself out to have better character than you really do. So then it really has to be with a pure intention, right? When you're with those people that you're around all the time, that's when the ikhlas really comes out, that you're really doing this for the sake of Allah, because there's no picture of yourself that you're trying to hold up to those people who really know who you are. Now, how to do that? The only real answer to that is just to be conscious, right? Just to try, right? That's the first step, because most of us, we don't even try. We just go on being reactive, right? Somebody does something that bothers us, we act in an annoyed way. So what you just have to do is be conscious of yourself and what you're doing. Catch yourself that you're starting to put that tone of voice towards that family member that's, not really the best way of speaking to them, and then just realize, okay, I need to take a step back and try to, control myself and not act in this way.
Definitely. That makes a lot more sense. The other thing I've heard a lot of people talk about is the loss of Jummah. We don't have the ability to be able to go to the masjid and pray and things like that. So what is something we can try to do? I've heard some people say to me that you can't pray Jummah prayer even at home with your family because it's not at the masjid. And I've heard others say no, you can do that. So I wanted to know, this. I guess there's two questions to this. One, should you try to substitute Jummah? And two, if you can you do it at home? Can you pray with your family? So on and so forth.
Yeah, so this is like a fiqh issue, and there's going to be different approaches to it and different fatwas and different understandings. But me personally, my understanding is that Jummah is something that there's no replacement for, right? The point of Jummah is for everybody in the Muslim community, at least all the men, to gather in one place and have a message, given to all of them at one time where they're all on the same page. And even historically, usually it had to do with what the community was going through at that time, right? And historically, it would be the leader of the people in that area who gave the khutbah as well. So it's kind of, at the same time as a religious reminder, it's also kind of play the role of like a media thing as well too, kind of letting everybody know what's going on. And to me, it's one of those things that if you're not able to do it, then you're just not able to do it. Just like fasting, right? If we have a 14-hour day and somebody has to take medicine every 6 hours, we don't tell them, okay, we'll fast for 6 hours then, because that's the most you can do. If they can't fast the whole time, they can't do it. So for me, Jummah is like that. It's something that's very important, and if there's no excuses, it's something we have to do as a community. But if we don't have the ability, we don't have the ability, and so people should just pray dhuhr in their homes, 4 rakahs, and then do what you can to supplement missing that khutbah, right? I don't think we need to have, I saw some places where the person even gets up on the minbar and does the khutbah just like it's normally Jummah, except there's nobody there. To me, I think, we should feel the loss of Jummah, and, should feel pain over that, and then just try to do whatever we can to make up for not having that weekly reminder by getting it in other ways, by studying or watching lectures or reflecting on Quran or whatever it may be. And Allah knows best.
Inshallah. So what I'm getting from that is there's no replacement or no substitute for Jummah then. Right?
Basically, yeah. You know, I mean, I think we can say supplement in that if that was your one time in the week where you're getting taught some things about Islam, right? Then I don't think you should just say, well, okay, there's no Jummah, so I'm not going to have any religious education, right? You should supplement it with something else. But it's, you know, nothing can take the place of the Jummah prayer and the Jummah khutbah.
That's true. Okay. So, Imam Kip, one last thing. I know this is a big question, kind of loaded, but we all know, you know, Ramadan is about to come up. And this is going to be a very awkward Ramadan for a lot of us. You know, no Taraweeh, no going to the masjid for iftars, no community gatherings. It's very weird. So in terms of not being able to have that, what are some things that we can try to do to make this Ramadan still, you know, as good or even better than the previous Ramadans that we've been privileged to have in our lives?
So I think there's two things really. One is to take advantage of the isolation, right? Because, you know, sometimes isolation can be spiritually fulfilling, right? And so use that, but then as well the community aspect of all parts of Islam, not just Ramadan, but especially in Ramadan. Now we have to replace that with the smaller communities of the people that we have in the house, right? So you have to make the family unit really feel like a community. You have to make the house feel like a masjid, right? You know, now instead of going to the masjid and having iftar with, you know, 100 people, it's going to be everybody in the house coming to the dinner table together, having iftars, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many people are there in the house, but still, you know, should try to have that feeling that this is my community, and people should still pray Taraweeh, right? You should pray as the family there in the house, and even if, you know, somebody has to read from the Mus'haf while praying, a lot of scholars allowed, you know, that. So to just try to do everything that we would normally do, but to make that family unit the community. And inshallah, hopefully there will be, you know, barakah in that, and you know, it will be something that will help us as families to come together and come closer through our Islam and our worship, inshallah.
Inshallah. Well, thank you so much. Jazakallah khair, Imam Kip. We are absolutely honored to have you once again. Thank you for sharing your time with us. I know this has been very informative for a lot of people. It definitely has been for me. Thank you so much. And inshallah, I pray that your family stays well through this time. And hopefully I can see you in person soon, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. We look forward to everything going back to normal and seeing you back here, inshallah.
Inshallah. Well, with that will conclude today's episode. Again, we would like to thank Imam Kip for being on the show today. And inshallah, we'll catch you soon. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.